Terrible
Ladies and
GPG.
gentlemen. Okay, so a quick recap as we missed the last session because of yours truly being just a ball of snot and mucus at the time. Um, you uh, made your way to Torquay Town, which is the equivalent of modern day Torquay, and you, having followed dreams that had been sent to you by no longer the Juju man, and in Torquay Town, you realised that there was several people had died recently. It was thought that it was possibly a plague, although the people that had been struck down were all fairly healthy men. So not usually the kind of victims that would have been struck by a plague. Anyway, the population thought that the devil was walking the streets of the town, but eventually you managed to find out that all the people that had been struck down had been involved uh, in deals with a man named Ivans, and Ivans had died a couple of weeks beforehand, having fallen down the stairs. It was debatable as to whether it was a suicide or not, and Ivans had because Ivans had lost all of his money. His riches had disappeared almost overnight. Um, Consequently, each of these men had been found dead in the all of them in the vicinity of the graveyard, not necessarily actually in it, but close to. Um, and what had not been reported was how they had died, which therefore fed the rumor of there being a plague. You found out there was one person left, an Alfred Dawlish, who had not been struck down, who was actually out of town when you arrived and was due to arrive back soon. And consequently, when Dawlish arrived, you went to try to stop him from dying. However, unfortunately, a red mist had come from the graveyard, and after a, after a struggle, the red mist did actually kill Dawlish, sucking blood from him. However, the fight ensued. Different people thought that they'd done different things to actually stop the red mist, and it was discovered that the red mist had been coming from a an unmarked grave, a pauper's grave from up the corner. However, once the body had been opened up, the mist was destroyed, and Dawlish unfortunately was dead, having been drained of blood. Just at that moment, the good Reverend had turned up. Reverend, I forget his name at the moment. Um, there we go. Reverend Jeffrey Timothy had turned up and witnessed the very end of the fight, and he informed you that the body of Dawlish was found the same way as the other men, in that they'd all been drained of blood. There's only himself and Squire Hardwick that knew this. They did not wish to because they had suspected that it was a vampire. That was the only thing they could think of that drains people of blood, and so fostered the idea that there was some sort of plague. Anyway, he's pretty certain, or now that this was the last of it, and is hoping that everything will be okay. And that's pretty much where we left things. The other thing that had happened in the last session was that you had all been sent a dream by Nalonga, who told you of a great evil that is coming, that wears many different names, uh, and that many heroes in the past had fought this evil. Um, He shows you visions of people from prehistory and from Roman times and from the Crusades, as well as Solomon Kane in the modern day, but in this day, and also visions of people from the future who will take up the fight after you have all died.
They're all the same character
Well, some were women.
in
uh,
spirit.
yeah, possibly. Although obviously, a couple of them. He did say Solomon Kane and one of the women characters are actually alive at this moment. So
Oh.
maybe not. Maybe they're not all the same, but there was definitely similarities between a lot of them. So maybe some of them have share a spirit or something like that. But no longer informed you that there was six artifacts that need to be found. Uh, he knows the rough location of five of them, in that he knows which continent they're on. Uh, so very rough. He said one in the old world, one on the dark continent, two in the new world, and one over in the land where the sun rises. Um, and so consequently, effectively, that worked out as probably Europe, Africa, Asia, and two in the Americas. The sixth one he did not know. You got a great card there, have you, Bill?
Yeah, I'm just not bothered about it.
um, and that's pretty much where we left it. Obviously, late at night, having had a fight, Reverend Jeffrey Timothy is with you. He will actually say that the body, the grave that the mist had come from was the grave of Roger Ivans himself, who had been buried in a pauper's grave because obviously his estate had no money when he died.
Oh, it's a
Um,
shame, isn't it? That is.
Uh, Consequently, you did find out that Squire Hardwick had bought um, not only Roger Ivans's business, he also had bought the house and of Ivans's house, and had also bought the cottages of the other men that had died. Um, well, the business of the other men that had died, he hadn't actually bought their cottages because the families were still living in it, despite Valerie's best attempts at healing them of plague. And that's pretty much where we got to. Wow, that was a long recap.
That a lot happened. Well,
Uh, yep. So fire away.
so really, we think with killing this red mist, it might well have thwarted the problems here.
Well, that's the hope. I mean, you do know that Dawlish was the last of the ones that may have been targeted. So whether uh, the red mist is actually been thwarted, or the fact that it did kill Dawlish, it might actually be satisfied.
Hmm.
So you're not 100% sure, but both options look potentially like it's had its day.
In either case, it could be that the red mist isn't the villain. Perhaps it was summoned or something like that.
Possibly. Obviously, Reverend Jeffrey Timothy wouldn't know anything of that. He had been convinced that it was a vampire because of the draining of the blood, and he knows that that's what Squire Hardwick thought as well. And as I said, they were the only two people that knew about that. Reverend Timothy is essentially the closest that the area has to being a doctor as well as being the local priest, but he, he's not particularly a skilled doctor. But that was the conclusion that he'd leapt to.
Well, I guess I don't think there's anyone else particularly I can think of to investigate. Imagine we could wait here for a bit and see if anything else happens. Unless anyone's got any better ideas.
Didn't they all do something that caused this thing to happen?
They
Um, go ahead.
didn't they cross that guy basically? They were.
Yeah, the cheated Ivans out of his money effectively. They John Prestwick, James Carter, Thomas Muchley, Nathaniel Drake, and Alfred Dawlish. They had effectively been gambling with Ivans and won all of his money off him. However, it was yeah, discovered that they had probably been cheating.
Hmm.
In which case, it is perhaps the spirit of righteous vengeance that has been
Or the
dealt
wife's a
to them.
witch.
Quite possibly, the wife, the grieving widow Ivans, she, as when you arrived, was involved in packing a cart ready to move to Bristol, where her sister lives. She hasn't actually gone yet. The cart is outside the house, ready to go effectively. Um, but
We could do
she's still.
we could do some snooping then. Are you any good at snooping? I'm quite good at snooping actually.
Is this Boris and you talking together?
Yeah, we no,
Okay.
I'm talking to you as well. But I mean, Boris always listens to me.
Was Boris answering you there? Because
In my mind, yes.
who's a good snooper? Who's a good snooper?
Boris is very good. Yeah, but Boris wouldn't know what he's looking for though. I'd need, give him something sniff. I wonder if perhaps if you go talk to Dakin or Valerie maybe and distract her, I can go and have a poke around in the cart and see if I can find anything suspicious.
Okay.
Well, the cart's outside at the moment, and she's inside. She's still in the house because obviously it's
So the
late
best
at
thing
night.
for us to do is to go and disturb her, get her to come outside.
And then distract her when she says, "Oh, okay, let's just go."
Distract her, yeah.
All right, we'll go and have a look in the cart. Is it dark at the moment? I presume it's
It
dark.
is,
We've been to a
yeah.
graveyard.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll just go and have a look at the cart then.
Okay. I presume you're ditching the good Reverend
Oh yeah, he's probably not.
Jeffrey Timothy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's too good to be brought on these sorts of expeditions.
He's not so good at snooping. He thought it was a vampire.
Yep.
Yeah, no problem. You can have a look through the cart fairly easily.
I'm looking for witches paraphernalia. Cauldron.
I thought you were
Broomstick.
just going to leave that as I'm looking for witches.
Oh, witches. Yeah, any witches. I'll look for them as well. See if there's any hiding.
Yep, you start looking through the cart, and you prod something, and a cackling emerges. No, no. There's a distinct lack of witches paraphernalia. There
Toads.
isn't. There's no toads, black cats, broomsticks, big pointy hats, cauldrons. Nope, none of those like.
Oh, she's not a witch then.
Does she weigh more than a duck?
Yeah, this is it. We'll have to go and weigh her. Well, we could
They
just.
say every certain amount of time some evil thing stirs in
Yes,
this area.
there was that, wasn't there? It's like a recurring feature.
Yeah, the last couple of times Solomon Kane came into town and dealt with it. But he's not here this time.
Well, we've also got the dream with the 6 gems of power that we need to be seeking out.
Are you saying we should go to sleep and see if the dreams tell us something new?
Yeah, well, I don't really know. I mean, we've got nothing concrete on this lady, have we?
No,
And
we
I'm
don't
just
even know if she was involved.
then I suggest we retire for the evening maybe and see if anything else befalls this poor village overnight. And if not, we could hopefully presume that the evil has passed now.
Yeah. And we still got that castle to go to. The Mullock, Exmouth Castle. I don't know who Mullock is. Do you know who Mullock is?
Moloch was the guy who, from Exmouth Castle, was causing a lot of problems 20 years ago.
Right.
And
Okay.
Solomon Kane came and kicked his arse, and the castle burnt down.
Yeah, so there's nothing there now.
Well, maybe someone's went back and did something. An anniversary party and went wrong.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Burned down.
Oh, that was putting it out there. Okay, let's go to sleep and see if we have funny dreams again. What about Valerie? We never asked Valerie if she had any ideas.
Valerie, what do you think?
I'm not sure. I'm just trying to remember whether there was anything else.
It was a while ago now, wasn't it? It's like a month ago or something when we played, so...
Lots of notes about dead bodies, which is pretty useless. Yep, let's go to sleep. All our maybe we get a dream of where this thing in the old world is, because I think England's the old world too, isn't it?
Yeah, the old world is basically Europe, so anywhere from Iceland to Turkey, really. And then from like the tip of Norway down to the tip of Spain, I suppose. So that's all classed as the old world, effectively.
Alfred, whenever I ask you a question, a voice comes into my head, tells me answers. Let's go.
That's Boris.
Boris. Okay, we'll have a good night's sleep and see what happens in our dreams.
Okay, you will go to sleep. And yes, you will have a dream. You'll all have the same dream. You are standing on the misty shore of some small lake or pond. Nearby, a man in black armor holds one end of a chain in a withered, almost skeletal hand. The rest of the chain runs into the waters of the lake and disappears. The man begins to pull on the chain. A leering face, dressed in a flowing white dress, rises until she stands on the very surface of the lake. She holds a shining sword in her right hand, and the other end of the chain is wrapped around her neck. Though she struggles fiercely against the man, she is unable to resist his obvious strength as he pulls her to the shore. When she reaches the shore, her eyes plead silently for your aid. Before you can act, the man grabs the sword from her with his withered hand and plunges the blade into her chest. As he does, a brilliant crown of gold descends from above to rest on his head. The mists clear, and you see around you a crowd of thousands, all bending the knee to the man in black.
This is bad. You can't go around messing with the Lady of the Lake.
Um, and I'll have a vigor roll from you all, please.
I wake in a cold sweat. That was really disturbing.
I had a dream last night that I was pulling a woman out of a lake. I took a sword off her and I killed her. It's crazy.
It wasn't
Okay.
you, was it? It was somebody else.
Alfred, you will wake up feeling fatigued
Ooh.
unless you want to re-roll it.
No, I'll take it. That was a traumatic evening of stuff.
Okay. Dakin and Valerie, you will wake up feeling okay, although a little bit perturbed about the dream. And there'll be a knock on the inn door. Well, in fact, no, there won't be a knock on the inn door. There'll be a knock on your doors, on the doors of your room.
I'll bleary-eyed in my nightgown open the door.
It is morning. It's fairly early, so it's still a bit dark because obviously we're in winter. And it'll be the owner of the bar of the inn, and the lamb, and he'll say, "Excuse me, sir, sirs, madam, um, Squire Hardwick is here and wishes to have a word with you all."
Very well. I'll I'll be down in a second.
Of course, he's waiting in the tap room for you.
I'll roughly, with all my hair sticking up, go and sort of quickly put on some clothes and descend down to the tap room.
Can I ask which word he wants to say to me?
Bugger off.
Oh,
There's 2 words. Okay.
did I talk to him? I'll talk to him about his lack of respect.
Let's go see what he wants.
It's playing my smarts 4.
Okay. And sure enough, down in the tap room, there is a man. Probably a middle-aged man, fairly well, certainly more well-to-do than anybody else you've seen in this area. And he'll be sat there warming his hands by the fire, and having a drink of ale, and he'll acknowledge you as you come in, and he'll shout across to the barman. Please make sure that you cook for our guests. I wish to have a word with them. And the barman will tug in his forelock. Will no, he doesn't tug his forelock, but the barman will say yes, yes, Squire, right away, and off he'll bustle into the kitchen.
I'll go over and intimidate him. I'll say to him, "Why do you tell me to bugger off?"
It was me who told you, but not him. He didn't tell you, it was me. Funny.
Hang on, see, I don't think I've got stats for him, so I'll just roll some dice. Okay, he will. He'll say, "I haven't told you to bugger off. Please sit down. We have things to discuss."
Sorry, Squire, we've not had a good night's sleep. We've been troubling, but what brings you here?
Well, first of all, I've come to personally thank you for dealing with what looked to be the situation that we had here. And at that point, the barman will come out with the plates of uh, bacon and a well cooked hearty breakfast for you all, and a glass of ale to go with it. Um, yes, and he'll acknowledge him and off the barman will scoot, and he'll say, "Yes, I've come to thank you for the services that you have rendered." Um, Reverend Timothy told me that what had happened, and it was some kind of weird kind of mist creature that you fought. Not a vampire as I suspected.
I've ne'er seen nothing like its kind before.
Me neither. I mean, we've had our fair share of strange things, strange occurrences here in Talker Town. Uh, you know, the last 20 years we've had a couple of events, um, but yes, I've never encountered anything like that. I'm hoping that everything is now resolved.
It seems you folk are plagued by calamity here.
Um, I wouldn't say that we're plagued by calamity. Something bad seems to happen about every 10 years. Thank God we're not one of the big cities where something bad happens probably every 10 minutes.
Yes, there is that. I don't like the city folk much myself. Terrible places, dirty they are.
Oh, that's. I'm sorry to hear you say that. What did you say your name was again?
My name's Alfred Smith.
I'm sorry to hear you say that, Mr. Smith, because I was wondering if you and your two companions here would undertake a service for me.
It depends on the service. I say I don't like the place, but I go where I'm needed.
Well,
Do you pay?
yes, the payment is quite good. I will pay your group a total of £10 for doing this service, which it, which is quite a lot of money.
I don't require money, just
I do.
expenses would suffice.
What is the job?
Well,
What is the kill?
I don't want you to kill anybody. It's not
No.
that kind of job. As you may or may not have heard, the good widow Ivans, she is heading over to Bristol to go to live with her sister. She has decided that she does not wish to stay in Talker Town. Obviously, too many bad memories for her here, and because of this, I um, generously offered to buy her house so that she could at least have some money to set herself up with when she reaches Bristol, and have agreed to lend her the use of a horse and cart, which she has been using to fill up with her possessions ready to take. Um, However, would I find it that my conscience would not let me rest if I were to just send her off to Bristol with a horse and cart. It's the best part of 100-mile journey, and I'm sure that it would not be safe for a lady to travel.
No, of course.
Uh, and so, what I wish for you to do, seeing as you are people that can clearly handle yourselves with what Reverend Timothy told me from the events of last night, I would wish to hire your services to escort the lady to Bristol to ensure that she reaches the city safely.
The roads aren't safe for anyone to be travelling alone. I'll happily accompany her.
Precisely, and that is why I wish to pay your good selves a a wage, as it were, of £10 for the job, um, to ensure that the widow Ivans reaches Bristol safely, and which would, like I say, would ease a weight off my conscience.
Very well. I do have bills to pay.
No, £10 for your group, good sir.
Still, it's still a good wage.
It is.
Yes, we
£10 is a
accept.
really good wage. I'm very glad that you accept my offer. Um, I believe that the widow Ivans is planning to head off today. I shall call round on her on my way back to my house, and I shall leave the money with her, um, and shall let her know to not start off until you have arrived.
Excellent.
In that case, my friends, I bid you good day and a safe journey.
Thank you,
very
Squire.
much.
And he will get up and head over to the barman to pay for the meal, and acknowledge you as he leaves.
After he's gone. Well, can you believe the cheek of the man?
Uh, what are your thoughts, Valerie?
Well, he's the bad guy, isn't he? He's the one who made them all give him the houses, isn't he?
Didn't you say last time that he sold them the houses and then
And then,
bought them back?
yes, got them back.
Hmm.
Well, we're getting £10 out of it.
And now he
Yes.
wishes to escort her, though.
Well,
That means we get £7 each.
it could well be a trap. Maybe he intends to finish her off as well as a husband.
Or as well as us. Get us
Yes,
all in one
obviously.
place.
Maybe we foiled his plans and, yes, plans to do away with us all. But the first part in avoiding a trap is knowing that it's a trap. And, walking into it with your eyes open.
I let you go ahead, walk in front of me then. That way, you can see the trap and you can
Yep.
stop me. And if you do not see it, then you get hurt, and then I won't walk on the trap.
So, maybe somebody should follow him, see whether he does go to the widow's house or anything.
Do you want me to follow him?
Yeah.
Okay, I go and follow him.
Are you sneaking after him, or are you just boldly strolling?
I'll pretend I'm sneaking. There we go.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that even with me not knowing his skills off the top of my head, that he will spot that. He will he will pretty much ignore you, as he does go to the widow Ivans's house and knocks on the door, and there'll be some discussion, and the widow Ivans, or you assume she's the widow Ivans. She's wearing black, and she was definitely the woman that was out the front yesterday. The widow Ivans will looks like she's thanking him, and he will press some money into her hand. I'll have a notice roll from you, please. Well, I thought it was just Dekin that was following.
Yeah, fair enough.
it
I was
is.
getting carried away.
Yeah, people just like, oh, make a roll. That's me. I like making rolls.
I like rolling dice. It's a
Yeah,
good one as well.
you, from this distance, you won't quite make out Daki. You won't quite make out how much money that he has handed her.
Well,
There's
I'm illiterate, so I
certainly
wouldn't even know anyway.
right. Well, you might
He's gone to
recognise the
her.
size of the notes and
Hmm.
things like that, but
He's
he
gone
will.
to her and he said, some robbers are going to attack your caravan. They will come up pretending to be guards employed by me, but it's all a ruse.
And he will. They will talk in fairly hushed voices for a brief time, and then he will uh, uh, tip his hat, uh, and off he will go. And the widow Ivans will close the door behind him as he leaves. He and Squire Hardwick will head on past, not directly past you, but he'll head on off towards his house, and he will uh, uh, look glance over towards you there, Dakin, and he'll acknowledge you as he walks off.
Tip his hat at you.
Yeah, tips his hat. He's doing a lot of hat tipping today.
It's kind of quite a popular pastime at this moment in history, isn't it? Hat tipping.
I'll
Hmm.
It certainly is.
I'll go over to the widow's house and knock on the door.
Okay, you will knock on the door, and
I'll
very
go with you.
very quickly. What was that? Sorry, Alfred.
I'll go with him, I guess. That's,
Well, Dakin had already gone outside and was following
okay.
Squire Hardwick. That's why
Okay.
he's actually stood there watching.
Fair enough.
The door will be answered quite quickly, and it'll be a woman that answers, wearing black. She not she's probably around about 30 years of age, and she'll look at you, and there'll be a little bit of shock that will register over her before she says, "Can I help you?"
What time do we leave?
Oh, are you one of the gentlemen that Squire Hardwick has
Yes.
sent? He didn't say. He said there was two gentlemen and a lady that was, and maybe an indistinguishable fourth person who will be. Who is asked to accompany me to Bristol.
That's
I am
worse.
planning on leaving in about an hour's time. I'm just doing a last check in the house to make sure that there's nothing left here of sentimental value.
Okay. Then I turn around
Checking
and
to see
walk
whether
away.
the oven's on or not.
I just don't
Sure.
care about that. She's had the money for the house and she's off.
Okay, I turn around and leave her and walk back to the tavern to tell Emmons what happened.
Cool.
I say, we leave in an hour. That's us
Well,
pack too.
if we do walk into an ambush there and we're aware of it and survive it, it could be that the ambushers can give us the information we need to implicate the squire.
Did we get the money? Are we coming back?
What do you mean?
Well, he said he'll pay us £10 if we take her to Bristol. How are we going to get the money off? We have to come
He's
back and
given
get
her
the
the
money.
money. That's
Oh,
what
he's
he
given
said.
her the money. Okay.
And when we arrive, then she'll pay us.
Yes, he did say too many words. I didn't hear that bit.
I think that's right.
Yep, that's what he said.
So I am ready to go.
So you've got an hour until the widow Ivans is ready to go. So if there's anything that anyone wants to do?
I think Alfred was telling us a battle plan, but I
No,
Well,
that was Boris.
was that Boris?
Yeah, Boris was telling you the battle plan. Alfred was just
Yes,
eating
but
bacon.
all of Boris's battle plans feature biscuits rather heavily.
they do, yes. lots of biscuits involved. No, I was just saying that if we are ambushed and we survive it, then the ambushers may well lead us back to the squire, so we can prove his involvement in it.
Yes.
So in a way, I kind of hope we do get attacked.
I've got my spear, and I don't actually
Magic
know
helmet.
I don't know what weapons you used. I don't
Me,
actually think I saw you fighting.
I use a bow.
Ah. Okay, so if we get attacked, you can do range, and I'll charge in and hit them in the face.
Sounds like a sound battle plan.
Okay, I'll have a smart. Oh, is Alfred and Valerie? You're both from England, aren't you?
Aye.
Yes.
Dakin, you're not.
Nope.
So I'll have a smarts roll off you all, please. Dakin, you're going to need a raise.
I got it! Woo!
That was me.
Just making a joke.
Ah.
It was a smart roll, not a nose roll.
Cool. Yeah, so Alfred and Valerie, you both got successes, which is all you two needed. You reckon, because it's about 100-mile journey to Bristol from Talkertown, because unfortunately you're on the south coast of Devon, so you've got to go right the way across. Although it is fairly well travelled, because Bristol is a fairly major port, you reckon with a horse and cart that's going to be loaded up with possessions, you reckon it's probably going to take about a week to get to Bristol.
Oh, we must buy more food. If you tell me that.
Yeah, we need to stock up. Biscuits.
All we've got is dog biscuits.
Exactly, exactly.
Because we sent Boris out to get the supplies.
So, yep, you can. It would a week's worth of supplies would cost. It doesn't cost a lot.
It's like 20. It says 0.20.
Yeah, it's basically a fifth of a pound, so 0.2 of a pound. So there's 20 shillings to a pound, basically. So each shilling is 0.05. So basically, it's I think that's about 4 shillings.
For one of us?
Yeah, for a week's worth of food to take with you.
So, okay. Does everyone have enough money to cover the rations we need?
Yeah. I'm now down to 1 shilling 2 pence.
Well, don't worry. We'll get paid one way or another for this trip.
I mean, obviously, the journey to Bristol, there will be some coach houses on the way. So, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have to fully eat the entire 7 days rations. Although, obviously, if you run out of money, you might need to. So, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily be camping out, but obviously they cost you as you paid for them at the time.
It's better to have them with us, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's better to have them with and not need them.
Then need them and not have them.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Better to have them because otherwise we're eating the dog.
Well, there's a horse as well. although the horse kind of needs to pull.
I'm a skilled hunter in either case.
Yeah, I can't wait to test that.
I'm good at hunting. Ish.
I'm just waiting for the skilled hunter and healer combination to come through.
Oh, funny.
Okay, so and sure enough, an hour later, the good widow Ivans, will be outside her house, uh, on the cart, ready. There is space for one other person to sit by her on the cart if they wish.
I shall.
Yep. Other than that, everyone else is walking.
Is there perhaps room on the back for me to lie on the cart?
Nope. It's
Okay.
full of lots of
I
possessions.
think that was Boris talking.
No, no.
Yeah, Boris
I'll
might be
let
able to
Boris
sneak
sit
on.
on my knee.
Yeah, okay, Boris sits on your knee. and I'll walk.
It's
It,
100.
And I'll be, oh, we can't have the poor puppy walking. I get so paused, won't you, puppy?
you reckon that you'll do about 15 miles a day, all being well. It's a fairly well travelled road, so it's not rough terrain. But obviously, it's a what is slowing you down is that it's a fully laden cart, so it's not going to be going that fast. Um, you reckon that walking you could probably do 20. So you're actually going a bit slower than what you reckon you could walk at. So it's a fairly decent pace, but nothing
Oh, you
nothing
can
too
do some
bad.
hunting. Because it's a nice slow pace. You could go off hunt and come back with your spoils.
Yeah.
What would you hunt in England? Sheep.
Boar. Deer.
Deer,
Yeah.
uh,
Rabbits,
I mean sheep,
grouse, pheasants.
yeah, all kinds of manner. Um, yeah, boar is another possibility. I'm just waiting for you to go hunting boar. That's going to be funny.
Rabbits and hares and things will be good. Birds.
So yeah, if you wish to range about doing a little spot of hunting as everyone's travelling, that's cool to see if you can add to your supplies.
Absolutely. I'll also be trying to keep an eye out for possible sites for an ambush, and I'll perhaps maybe go ahead a little bit and see if anyone's going to leap out at us. Do you need a survival roll or something?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna focus on your hunting first, Alfred.
Sure. Survival? Or...
Uh, yeah, we'll have survival to see if you can pick up some game, and then we'll have you shooting at it.
It's not looking good.
You're still a bit tired on the first day, and it doesn't surprise you that there isn't much game around close to the town.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much round here.
When you realise you're still looking in people's gardens.
Pet rabbits and things.
Yeah, yeah. He turns up with a chicken. I hunted a chicken.
With an angry farmer in tow.
My
That's
character
it.
in another game went foraging in someone's garden and then got in trouble with the local farmer for shooting one of his cows.
Excellent.
That's cool.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a card to see if you get an encounter on this
Club,
first day.
heart, diamond.
It's a picture or joker that will give you picture, ace, or joker will give you an encounter.
Ooh, it's fairly high up.
Though there are different types of encounters, they're not all fights. So,
Do you receive?
Day one passes fairly uneventfully. You'll get
should
to.
be talking to the widow, and I'll start off by asking her about, is she Is her sister's in Bristol, or is it near Bristol? Will she be in a rural or town environment?
No, it'll definitely be a town environment. A sister is married to a sailor, and they moved to Bristol because he can get a lot more work in Bristol.
So it must be nice going to a big, vibrant city where things are going to be happening.
Absolutely, she's hoping that she can put a lot of the past behind her, um, and possibly you get the impression that she's fairly well educated, not massively, not like a college don or anything like that. And she's hoping that she could probably get somewhere, maybe as a governess or something like that. But her sister has agreed to put her up for as long as she needs. So and with Squire Hardwick buying the house from her, she's not desperate for money. But she's looking forward to moving away from Talker Town.
Yeah, try and keep the chat upbeat and just try and get some sort of sense of the woman. You know, whether there's anything sort of duplicitous or whether she's like who she seems to be.
Um, yeah, I'll have a notice roll off you. Yeah, you won't pick anything up. I mean, obviously, you'll try to keep the tone upbeat, and she will respond to that. She will obviously at times go a little bit melancholic because obviously she's still grieving. But you'll get the impression that she's glad of the company, and especially somebody to that she can sit and talk with, so it takes her mind off things.
Boris will be friendly too.
Yeah, she'll get licked by Boris a few times, especially when she hands him biscuits and stuff.
Absolutely. He's
Yeah,
definitely not her friend.
we'll spoil Boris rotten while you're off hunting. At least should be a hunting with you, but you know. Can't
Yeah,
bother.
he's supposed to be, yes. He is supposed to be a hunting dog, but never mind.
Yeah,
Biscuits win.
every dog's a hunting dog till it doesn't have to hunt to get the food.
Yeah, till someone's feeding me biscuits, yeah.
He's looking at a career change. He's thinking lapdog's quite a good job.
Yeah, loads less hassle.
Okay, and so basically that day will pass. The first day will pass fairly uneventfully, and you'll settle down, make camp, and I mean, obviously you're eating trail rations, but you're eating the better food first because that's what you tend to get. So because it's fresher, so I mean you'll have some fresh food as well. Obviously, it's not supplemented by whatever the hunting was. Alfred might have tracked down some berries or something like that, maybe, but he got a three, so I'll let him have some edible berries. Though there won't be much because it's winter. Um, as long as it doesn't get, as long as you don't give them like holly or ivy or mistletoe or something.
Yeah, it wasn't a crit fail, it was, yeah.
No, you haven't tried to poison them or anything.
Apart from
And
a few.
and the night will pass fairly comfortably. The widow Ivans will insist on making the best of what she can of the people's of everybody's rations that you've got. So she'll try to make it into a stew as much as possible to try to give it a little bit of flavouring, so it's not quite just dry trail rations. And as I say, the first day and night will pass fairly uneventfully, other than you'll all have the same dream.
No.
I
And
think it's just budget cuts, you know. They can't afford to give everyone different dreams.
and the dream will be exactly the same as the night before. So I will have another vigor roll, please.
Damn it, I'm getting tireder and tireder. I'm going to attempt to Benny it tonight.
Oh,
Just.
oh,
Okay, so the next morning, Valerie, you'll be fine. Alfred, you'll actually be fine. You actually recover that piece of that. That fatigue, and Dakin, you're fine as well. So you can get rid of the fatigue there, Alfred.
Yay, but what's a dream?
Exactly the
Same
same. Exactly the same as you had the night before.
With the Lady of the Lake being pulled with a chain by some horrible black. It's this mounting evil, isn't it? Hopefully we're getting closer to it, whatever it is.
I will have a. Ooh, again, you two are English. I will have a. Let me see now. If anyone's got a knowledge history, I'll have that. Otherwise, I'll have smart, but you're going to need a raise.
Knowledge occult.
Not really.
Ah! We're both just like, we think we might. Oh no, Value's got it. It's a good job someone's got brains around here.
Okay. I was actually. I wouldn't worry so much, Dakin, because I was going to give you a penalty because you're not English, so it's not. You're even less likely to have heard it.
oh,
So don't feel so bad that you only missed out on a raise by one because you were actually going to get a -2 penalty anyway.
But me, on the other hand, I can feel terrible about it.
Yeah, you can feel terrible about it, and in fact, Boris actually gets it, and is sort of like just looking at you in exasperation there, Alfred.
I thought I'd give him a check anyway.
Okay, Valerie. Obviously, you've sussed out that it's something to do with the Lady in the Lake, and therefore the King Arthur um, legends, and so you'll be thinking of places that are associated more with King Arthur, and ideas that will come to mind. Obviously, there's Glastonbury, which you're heading fairly close to because it's not that far from Bristol. And the other likely place is probably Cornwall, which you're heading away from. Yeah, there's no festivals at the moment at Glastonbury. Maybe in a few months' time.
it's the only thing I know about Glastonbury, even in real life.
Um, well, in legend, it's potentially reckoned to be possibly the final resting place of Arthur, it, and one of the possible locations where Excalibur was, or where Bedivere may have thrown the Excalibur into the lake for the Lady of the Lake to retrieve. But obviously, they're all myths and legends and lost in time. So, and there's several contradictory ones as well. So,
Is Valerie telling us so?
Yes, I will.
yep. Valerie's giving you information there about King Arthur. And in fact, as you get up and breakfast is being made, and that it's something that you'd probably
Chat about.
chat about, and Valerie will mention that in passing.
That's some good thinking there, Valerie. Perhaps we should take a slight detour to Glastonbury Tor on our way.
Is it a detour? I don't know where it is.
It's really
Just
not
bear with me.
far.
I'll need to look at the map.
Probably fairly near on a route.
It's Boris's voice in my head again.
You will actually go past Glastonbury to get to Bristol. It's literally on the road. Where Bristol's about 100 miles away. It is a slight detour off the straight road, but Glastonbury itself is about 75 miles away from Torquay, from Torquay town. So you kind of would deter. You kind of would make a detour at about the 70-mile mark. So um, after about 4 to 5, just after 4 to 5 days. So 5 days, you'd make a detour, and then you could then head to Bristol from Glastonbury. It's just a separate road. So road probably slightly less travelled, but not majorly less.
So we used up 4 rations then to get to Glastonbury.
So it's kind of, like I say, it is kind of on the way. If you went straight through up to Bristol, you would miss Glastonbury. It is a slight detour. It's probably only going to add about a day to your journey, though, in total.
I think it's a good idea. I do not like this rolling dice to try and not be fatigued.
Yeah, these dreams are unpleasant.
Yes,
Okay.
I'll suggest it to the good lady. Say that we're curious to see it. Would she mind?
No, of course. She will say that she has only visited Glastonbury once in the past. She has no qualms about visiting it again. So, absolutely. So, day 2, if you wish to do some hunting, Alfred.
I do.
Oh,
That's better. More alert today.
You'll be on the trail of some game. It's just a 5, so I'm going to say it's going to be pheasant or something like that. A game bird. I'll have a shooting roll off you, please.
I'm good at shooting.
Nice. Okay. You will capture a game bird for tea,
Pheasant.
which will make a nice pheasant, which will make a nice change. And I'll just see if you get any encounters this day. Oh, yes, you do. Okay. So you will during the day. Alfred will range near and far, and he'll come back with a pheasant that he's caught, well, that he's shot, and so you'll be quite looking forward to dinner as and runs off with the pheasant.
No, he's very well behaved, Boris.
And you will be quite looking forward to dinner, as you've got a nice change there with pheasant instead of trail rations. The widow Ivans will be well pleased, because she'll say that she could make that up with some vegetables that you've got, and make it into a nice meal. And you'll settle down for dinner that evening. However, that evening, as you settle down for dinner, the smell of the pheasant attracts something. Just give me a moment while I set this up.
Oops.
We all die because you got us pheasant. I'll be very unhappy.
It's a very nice pheasant, though. You can't live on these dull trail rations all the time.
I don't know. In the olden times, did you all survive on one pheasant? Was it like a big giant turkey? I've never seen a pheasant.
I think you get...
They are pretty big, pheasants. I used to almost run one over periodically on my way to work. not intentionally. Just there was always a place on the way to Stafford and the country lanes where pheasants would always be hanging around the side of the road, and invariably there'd be one strolling around in the middle of the road.
They're only sort of chicken sized, aren't they? Maybe
Oh
a bit
yeah,
bigger.
they're pretty big. They're probably between a chicken and a turkey. So I mean, they'll
Yeah, it would be the same.
absolutely. You'd only need one pheasant between you, to be honest. Especially if you've got some vegetables to go with it. Okay, so just bear with me because I'm going to put you on the map.
Okay, hopefully it's not the graveyard again.
Yeah, every map is the same.
I'm just having a quick AFK.
No worries. If you'd like to pop yourselves, yeah, tastes a bit gamey, definitely. If says Boris, if you'd
So,
like to pop yourselves in that area, you've that's basically like a little a good secluded area that you've managed to find for camping there, Alfred.
what is that thing above Valerie? It's like something on the ground.
It's
Is
just
it submarine?
it's just
Nothing.
rock.
A log.
It does
Rock.
Okay.
it does look like a submarine,
I
but
think
it
it's a
isn't.
sign, actually, is it?
Yeah, I think it's meant to be a sign, but ignore it.
Could swim in here. It's full of crocodiles. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind being in the middle.
Yeah, if you want to pop yourselves, and I'll pop the Widow Ivans on. Just bear with me 1 second.
I'll put her closer to the
I'm
water.
thinking we'll probably be in some sort of circle, wouldn't we, around a fire?
Yeah,
I think she would prefer to be near Boris, though. Everyone likes to be near Boris. It looks like a sausage dog.
Oh,
I don't even know what type of dog that is. Ooh, she looks 3D.
it's the only figure I've got. I've got to sort out a load of figures. I've done ones for things that I definitely need, but I could do with sorting one out properly for it. I
no
shall
worries, she's
just
cool.
get some stats for her so I can pop her on the combat tracker.
Alright.
There you go. She's down as Citizen 26. I'll just change her name.
26.
I just need to check her stats because she hasn't got fighting skill.
Oh, have you seen the link that Rex put to that virtual tabletop map thing? Battle maps.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It'd be dead nice to get, I used to hold, put my monitor flat on the table and have that running. It'd be great having those there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've not looked at it properly, but I mean, the other thing that he was saying about for fantasy grounds, if it's not moving, I mean, you can always pause it and use snipping tool, which will give you the actual map as well. So
Yeah.
There's always a good thing there.
Some of the things I've seen that the the Fantasy Grounds Unity version that they're doing has got that kind of things in it, where it's got like weather effects and stuff on the map, so it has that stuff moving about on the map, which looks nice.
Oh right, that is cool.
Um,
Okay, I just need to put a few things on,
well,
and
looking
then we'll
forward
be
to
ready.
that.
Okay, so just hanging. Al, are you back?
No.
Wow.
Boris,
Sorry.
that's all right. You just got surprisingly Irish suddenly.
I'll have notice rolls from you all, please. This is as you're sat around enjoying your pheasant.
Ah! What is that over there? It's a kraken.
Cool. Wow. Dakin's on the ball, as is Alfred and Boris. Valerie, you'll probably be chatting with the widow Ivans.
Yeah.
Oh, although the widow Ivans does notice. Okay, so this first round, everybody can act except for Valerie. You are surprised, as you will see a group of wolves circling you. They look quite hungry.
In the winter, they will do. They get bold and attack
Absolutely.
anyone.
They've obviously been attracted by the smell of the pheasant. Also, probably the horse as well, maybe, but mostly the pheasant. And we will move into combat. So I'm going to take Valerie out of the equation this round because she is surprised, but everybody else can act straight away.
Okay, might want to take Deuce out of the tracker as well,
Yeah.
since he's asleep or something. And take Valerie off hold.
Oh, I put Valerie on hold so that she doesn't
Ah.
get dealt a card. That's all.
Oh,
I'll
good.
take her at the end of the round.
Oh, very good idea. Yeah, I never thought of doing that.
Yeah, it just struck me. I was like, I don't want to take Valerie off the tracker, but I don't want her to be dealt in this round. And I thought, actually, if I put her on hold, then we can go on through.
She won't be dealt in. Yeah, that's an awesome idea.
So the widow Ivans, typically the widow Ivans goes first. I can't believe how badly you've done on initiative there.
Well, we're tucking into pheasant.
That's it. She will basically not really do a lot. She will panic a bit, and I will put her on hold in case anything comes to her. In fact, no, she'll actually just go defensive because she doesn't have any. She has a basic dagger that she has no skill with.
Mm-hmm.
So I will just get the effects out.
Cool.
And yeah, she'll just put herself on defend. And other than that, I can't believe the wolves go next on 3. Okay, so wolf 40. He's going to go for you, Dakin. 4 to 6. He'll go for Boris. He's going for Dakin.
See, I get an attack then.
Do you have first strike?
Yep.
Cool. You have an attack on him then.
So I pick up my spear and hit him. That's a -2 for spears. Picking up the spear, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Has he still got the? He's got boost fighting, I think. Oh, it's not
Oh, I
an
got
actual
that.
effect though.
Oh, I'll take it off anyway. Okay, so if you want to have an attack at him.
Ow!
Okay, that's a hit with a raise.
It's only 2 wounds though.
Yep, as the wolf gets closer, you will just spear straight through it, and it will yelp and go down in a hurl. Basically, as it leapt towards you, you just caught it with the spear.
And then I take another bite out of my partridge, or whatever it is. Bird thing.
Okay, so this one will head on closer, and I'm going to say 1 to 2 Valerie, 3 to 4 Alfred, 5 to 6 Boris, because he's coming in at the corner there. And he will go for Boris. It's not actually a trait roll. And he will charge in at Boris there and attempt to bite him. And he misses. Okay, and number 39, I'm going to say 1 to 2 Dakin, 3 to 4 the Widow Ivans, 5 to 6 Valerie. He's going to come in at you, Dakin. That was the plan. Those 2 wolves obviously decided they were going to attack Dakin from different sides. But it misses. And the final wolf, I'm going to say 1 to 2 Widow Ivans, 3 to 4 Valerie, 5 to 6 Alfred. He's going after you, Alfred. So you'll get a gang up from his mate there.
They might need to be flagged as hostile. Oh, I don't know actually. They might need to be red to get the auto gang up bonus. I'm not 100% on that though. Try and see.
Yeah, we'll see. Technically, I put as neutral because that's what they actually are. They're not specifically after you because it's you, but.
Oh, it did it? Applied it.
Got it, yeah. But he misses. So, Alfred, you're up.
Well, this is inconvenient. Okay, I'm going to whip out my axe and heft at the one next to Boris. Get away from Boris. I'm gonna go. I'll put wild attack on me. Feeling brave.
Okay.
Brave / stupid.
For you? You've done it. Okay.
Get a -2 for sort of drawing my axe, fumbling around with it a bit.
So that'll cancel out the wild attack. Brilliant. I'll have an agility roll off you, please, Alfred.
Okay, we've got
Oh,
Boris.
good recovery.
That's okay. You'll basically pull your axe out and almost let go of it as you pull it from the sheath, but manage to just keep hold of it, and it doesn't look so bad. You're sure nobody noticed that?
Okay, so Boris
Okay.
wonders why his master's playing around with a funny-looking stick, and then attempts to bite the wolf.
Yeah. Otherwise, if it had flown off, I was going to have the potential chance that Boris goes and fetches it for you.
Sadly, Boris snaps at the wolf but misses. It's a tough-looking wolf, that.
Okay, so Dakin.
Okay. I will attack the wolf that's right beside me.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's enough.
It's a good job Dakin's here.
Why are these dogs attacking? And that was my go. Oh, man, I can move. So I'll go down around here and stop there.
Okay. Okay, so I will deal everybody in now for the second round.
Very surprised that the spear isn't the reach weapon.
And the wolf goes first again. It will actually attempt to flee. So, Boris and Alfred, you can get a free attack on it.
So Boris, okay, Boris goes in with a bite.
Okay.
Get him, Boris.
That'll be no.
I'll go in with the axe. Oh, that's better. Yeah.
You shake it, so it will move. Just double check its pace.
Just clip it.
Yeah, it's got a pace of 8, so it'll move 4 away, which will take it off the edge of the map. It'll basically, as it runs, you clip it a bit with the axe. You probably hit it with the flat of the blade because you were not expecting to attack at that point, and it'll yelp as it flees. So that will run off the edge, and the other wolf will also flee. So Valerie, you can have a strike at it if you wish.
Yes. This 69 one.
That's the one, yeah. Okay. Okay, same will happen with that one. Will try to flee. They obviously decided that there are easier meals to go for. Well, it actually gets it shaken on its turn, so I shall reshake it. So, Dakin, you could chase that number 69 down if you wish. Number 17's got off the edge of the map, so I'm going to say that one will have basically run off into the undergrowth. But 69
Ah!
I'll have an agility roll off you, please, Dakin. Yeah, okay. You keep hold of your spear. Dakin goes charging off after the wolf, but he tries to prod at it, but totally misses. Widow Ivans will stay where she is. Alfred.
I'll switch to the bow and take a shot.
Okay, so you'll get -2. Okay, you will hit.
Oh, it's a good shot. Much better with the bow than the axe.
Yeah, you'll shoot it, and it'll as it's fleeing, it'll a bit of extra momentum, but only for a very brief amount of time as the arrow hits it and slices straight through and pushes it onto its front, and down it'll go.
Boris goes in for the kill steal. No.
Valerie.
Actually, I'll move him back. Is the wolf shaken?
Oh, Valerie gets a joker, so she can go again. And that's a hit. And she'll take it out. I'm not wasting GM pennies on these.
Oh.
And you'll manage to save your dinner. Cool. And as for that, have we lost somebody? No, everybody.
So.
No, everybody's on there. That's all right, Bill. It's just that you're not on the card. I'll just bear with me a second.
What card?
That one.
Oh.
Where you just disappeared off that.
Oh, I think I might have shut it.
Yeah, that's probably it. That's all right. And the rest of the night will pass uneventfully, other than again you'll all have the same dream. It's exactly the same, detail for detail, no difference whatsoever. So I will have a fatigue roll. Well, figure roll, please.
Gonna take it this
Oh, I
time.
shouldn't have the Joker bonus, but it's
That's
still
okay.
4.
You've got a 4, so it's still pass.
Does Boris get these dreams?
If he does, he hasn't told you about him.
Okay.
No, he doesn't. That's what he doesn't. He doesn't have to roll. Boris doesn't.
Yeah,
He dreams of chasing rabbits and things like that.
yeah, these little paws moving in his sleep.
Yeah, and biscuits.
Hmm.
So, Dakin, you will be fatigued when you get up.
Yep, I took it already.
Cool. Okay, so day 3, you will carry on back on the journey. If you wish to do another spot of hunting there, Alfred.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, again, some more pheasant. Nothing too extraordinary. Yeah, which you will definitely capture. Well, you'll definitely shoot. So you're eating quite well this evening as well, by the looks of it.
Good. Excellent. Glad I chose to be a hunter. Oh no, more.
Don't we eat the wolves from the night before?
Yeah, it's the other half of the wolf pack. They were the scouts. In comes the main pack. You've taken out the 4 scouts, and now in comes the 100 of the actual pack itself. No, it's not. But it is a heart. Okay. As you are travelling along the road, you will come across a merchant who is struggling along with his cart and his wares, and he'll wave to you as you catch up with him, uh, and he'll say, "Oh, fellow travellers, would you mind if I accompany you? As safety in numbers on the roadside, of course."
Good day to you, sir. We're heading towards Glastonbury Tor way. Is that the way you're headed?
I'm not quite going as far as Glastonbury. I am going to be doing some trading. Just bear with me. I'm just pulling up a map so I can see a nearby town. Okay, so you've done. Let's have a look. See if I can do that distance there. Okay. Yeah, he will. You've effectively you've passed Exeter. He will say that he's heading up to Collumpton, which he should. In fact, no, he's heading up to Taunton, which you'll pass in probably tomorrow. If he'd be mightily pleased if he could accompany uh, if you're heading that way. If he could join you on the road.
Well, it's fine by me, but I don't know what the others think of Valerie. Should we take this person with us?
Yes.
Billy will have to walk like we do.
Oh, he's okay. He has a horse and cart, so he's fine. He's got his wares on the cart.
So you got room in the cart for me?
Um, I'll we'll have a spirit roll. I'll use spirit as luck, so I'll have a spirit roll off your Dakin to see if he's got room for you in the cart. Yeah, he's got room for one.
Get a nice rest.
He will say you look weary there. By all means, have a seat up here in the cart and rest your weary legs.
My thanks.
And basically the rest of the day will pass uneventfully. He'll introduce himself as Isaac Garr, a merchant travelling onto Taunton, where he's hoping to sell his wares. Um, and he'll be quite a jolly chap. Obviously, somewhat relieved that he's not travelling along the road by himself.
Do you have occasion to go to Glastonbury? Do you know the place? It's been a long time since I've been there.
Yes, I tend to do this route from Torquay up to Bristol. I spent the last few days in Exeter, and I've been travelling up. Say Taunton's my next destination. I'll see what there is I can buy and sell in Taunton, and whether it be worthwhile travelling on up from there. But I plan to stay in Taunton for a couple of days.
I see. And any news from the road?
No, everything's been fairly quiet. There has been talk of some bandits in the area, but nothing concrete. It's always been a case of somebody's heard of somebody that was stopped, but nobody knows anybody themselves that was stopped by them. So,
But perhaps just rumours. We hope. We did come across some, or rather, they came across us some wolves the other night, but we managed to dispatch them, so they shouldn't be a trouble for any travellers from now on.
yeah, so always the problem this time of year. The wolves get hungry, so they become normally throughout the year you don't have much trouble with the wolves. They'll usually leave you alone if you leave them alone. But this time of year they do get hungry, so there's an increased likelihood that they'll feel braver, uh, especially if there's not been much fare at the farms for them recently.
Hmm.
But just bear with me because he's just dredging up his mind to see if he can come up with to see if he has got any rumours in mind. And I say he'll be quite a jolly chap, um, and very, I say, very pleased because he's met fellow travellers on the road. But no, they're the only rumours he's got. There has been sightings of bandits, but nothing concrete.
Well, I hope we don't run into them.
Absolutely. Okay, so day 4. Ooh, let me have a look at my rumours sheet. Got a special rumours sheet, you see.
Ah, cool.
No, he's not got anything else other than the sightings of bandits. Okay, so that evening will pass quite pleasantly. He will have some food that he will happily share with you all as well as the pheasant from your hunting, and so he'll actually pass around a little bit of ale as well that he's. He always keeps with him for medicinal purposes, of course.
Oh, I'm glad you joined us.
And the night will pass fairly quietly. I meant to ask, are you planning on setting up watches over the night, or are you trying to?
Yes, watches.
Yep.
Also, I'm going to every night make a little perimeter of some string with some rattly things on, so that if animals or whatever, like if the wolves came and pushed against them, they'd ring.
Cool. That sounds good to me. Watch order. I've got Dakin, Alfred, and then Valerie.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll just take Juice off for now.
Sounds good. And being a dog, Boris is always on watch.
Except for any snoring and
Yeah.
thinking about biscuits.
Yes.
And obviously the widow Ivans will get up towards the end of Valerie's watch anyway to start making breakfast and stuff. She will busy herself doing that and say that she's determined to earn her fair share as you good people are out here to protect her on her journey. And the next morning that night you'll have the same dream again. So I'll have another vigor roll.
Getting tough these are now, this dream.
Does this mean I
Lady
lose
in
the
the
vigor?
lake.
Yeah, you lose the fatigue there, Dakin. Valerie, Alfred, you're both fine. So day 4, Alfred, if you wish to do some hunting, you'll basically reach Taunton at the end of the day, so you'll be able to decide if you won't find much around. It's you're getting close to a town again, so you reckon that's probably why there's not a lot of game around. And I will just check see if there's an encounter. No, it's very quiet as you head towards Taunton, and as you get to Taunton, you've got several inns which Isaac will recommend one that he'll be staying at that he always goes to. He says, I know the owner. He can he'll give you a good rate if you want to stay in an inn for the night.
Oh, I'd like a soft bed and a
Says the
wash.
hunter. Says the outdoorsman hunter.
Yeah, it's still like a soft bed
And a wash.
and a wash on occasion.
Yep, once every 6 months, whether he needs a wash or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can get lodging is actually you can get poor quality lodging, which will cost you um, basically 5p, which is a shilling, or you can get good quality at the price of 3 shillings, which
Oh,
it should be normally be 5 shillings for good quality, but because you're friends of Isaac, the barman can let you have the rest for the night for 3 shillings in good quality. That means you get your own room and everything.
oh, I'm going for good quality then.
I'm going for cheap.
Okay, so well, cheaper is basically you'll sleep in the common room.
Yep, because I've only got 1 shilling 2p, so I can't afford anything else.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll go for the common room too.
okay. So it's just Alfred having his own room. Widow Ivans will have her own room as well, and obviously Isaac will have his own room, and Isaac will actually buy you all a hearty meal, and obviously we'll buy a round of drinks for everybody to thank you all for accompanying him to Taunton so that he didn't get mugged in the night.
It was a pleasure, Isaac. I hope our paths cross again.
Yeah, you'll say if ever you're in the area, keep an eye open for Isaac Gare's emporium of quality goods. Not all quality goods at a good cheap price, and he'll hand you his card.
Okay, I'll take his card. I'm not sure I can actually read it, but I'll take it anyway. Thank you.
Okay, and the evening will pass very pleasantly. You will. It'll be nice and comfortable. However, you will have the same dream again. Oh, but before the dream, before we do the big roll, I'll have a notice roll from you all, please. So we've got a pass from Alfred. Valerie technically doesn't. Yeah, Boris doesn't really get one. Valerie's still got the Joker bonus, so she doesn't pass.
Yeah,
So
but I
Alfred
fail.
gets one. That's okay. Bear with me 1 second.
Need to get rid of this dream.
Yeah. Hopefully the answer will be in Glastonbury.
Okay. You'll Alfred, you'll be sat there in the pub, and you'll overhear some talk of strange goings on over in. Oops. Just trying to find it. Over in a town called Uffington, over in Oxfordshire. That's basically heading towards the east on the way to London. Nobody particularly has any details other than tales of a dragon, apparently.
A dragon?
Yes. Nobody in here really is taking it seriously, though. So you have the impression that it's probably just talk.
Does he look a little drunk?
Oh yes, plenty of people look a bit drunk and they're talking about dragon seen in Uffington.
I think I'll take this with a pinch of salt, the dragon tail. If someone else mentions it, I'll perhaps look into it or something, but...
Well, I'll have a smarts roll from both, well, from all of you, although I would say that Dakin's going to need a raise.
I'm not the sharpest tool in the box. But I'm alright today.
Okay, Valerie and Alfred. Yeah, a dragon, Uffington. You do. It is known that there's a small hillock near to Uffington called Dragon Hill. So perhaps somebody's somewhere has made something up with regards to that.
Yes, we'll be putting the two together, and it makes a good yarn for a tavern
That's
talk.
it. Yeah. Cool. So, like I say, the rest of the night will pass peacefully. However, you will have the same dream again, but exact details the same. I'll have a vigor roll, please. Okay, so Alfred's okay.
I'm going to roll. I'm going to use a penny.
Okay.
Yay.
Yep, Dakin's okay. Valerie, that's going to be a point of fatigue unless you want to have another
Yeah,
attempt
it's
at
the
it.
first time I've got it, so I'm going to take it.
Okay. Yep. So the next morning, you'll all wake up. Valerie's looking a little bit tired. Alfred, Dakin, you'll be certain that even though you had the same dream, that you're fine because you've had a comfortable night's sleep because you've slept on a comfortable bed.
Absolutely, but these dreams are getting most troublesome. How
Well,
far are we?
Vexing.
It's the same dream. That's the problem.
How far are we from Glastonbury now?
We're practically there, are we not? Because it was what?
You've done 4 days, which got you to Taunton. It's going to take you another day. Will get you to Bridgewater, which is where the turn off is for Glastonbury. So it's going to take you 2 more days to get to Glastonbury.
Nah, that's not too far.
In fact, no, actually, you'll reach the turn off tomorrow. It'll take you 1 more day to get to Glastonbury, actually. So because you will speed up a little bit because Isaac was slowing you down a little bit because he also had a cart that was fully laden.
Yeah, he was dead weight.
And in all fairness, you guys did catch him up, so he was slowing you a bit. Cool. So so the next day, Alfred, if you wish to go hunting again.
I do. Providing it's not going to slow us down any, I'll carry on hunting.
I'll see what the card does for us this time. Yeah, well.
Yeah, you'll find more pheasant, possibly some rabbit. Wow.
I'm a good shot
Yeah.
with a bow.
You
Just wait till
are.
it
You
really
will,
matters.
Yeah. So something's trying to kill you, and you'll just completely fumble it. Yeah, you will find some rabbit, and you'll have a little bit of variety for dinner that evening. I'll just, or potentially, I'll see if anything happens during the day. Ooh. I'll have a notice roll from you all, please. Just from the 3 of you, not Boris. Okay. Valor's still got the Joker bonus. That's actually a fail.
I did try and get rid of it by moving it on, but
Don't worry about it. I can. It'll. As long as I remember it, it's fine. I don't really want to close the combat tracker and that. So yeah, you will. Dakin and Alfred, as I mean, obviously you're both on foot again now. Valerie, you'll be chatting with the widow Ivans, which is why you won't have spotted it. Oh, actually, in fact, no. Sorry about that. We'll rewind back slightly. No, you will fail. You needed a raise, so you can try to Benny it if you wish.
No, I'll take it on the chin.
Okay.
I'm not
Dakin, Valerie, you can attempt to Benny.
Yeah, I'm going to Benny it.
Okay.
Mothers aren't Benny holders. Oh, she spotted.
Yeah. Okay. So we rewind slightly. Basically, Alfred will be out ranging and getting dinner, whilst Dakin is walking along. And Valerie, as you're sat there talking to the widow Ivans, you'll glance across the side of the road and you'll notice something small. It looks like some material at the side of the road there.
Investigate.
Okay, you'll stop the cart and jump off. And as you get closer, you can see what looks to be a small purse.
Pick it up, examine it.
Okay. You pick it up. Inside there's quite a few coins, amounting to the princely sum of £1. No sign of any identification, although that's not unusual this time in this period. But yeah, £1's worth of coins in there.
Oh, I put it in my pocket.
I'll have another notice roll from you, Valerie.
You noticed the hand that was gripping it. Yes.
So that's a 10. So that's a raise. You'll see that there's some tracks that have gone by, but not necessarily that fresh. But again, not unusual because you're by the side of the road. But what you will also see is horse tracks, basically that were at the side of the road, and a wagon track, but they don't look all that fresh.
And just stopped off. Have they sort of left the road and camped or something? Is that what the tracks are, or have they driven off the road?
No, they don't look like they've actually gone off the. Well, the horse has gone off the road, but the wagon hasn't. Not it doesn't look like the horse has gone fully off the road. It's just gone off like the edge of the road.
I found some tracks.
I'll take a look at the tracks.
Okay.
I've got tracking. I don't know if that
I'll
helps.
have tracking from you because Valerie's pointed them out, so that's fine. Yeah, you're not fully sure. They are quite old. Doesn't look like anything particularly out of the ordinary there, Alfred. You reckon's probably just the most recent travellers before you have come through, and there's been a cart and there's been a horse that's been at the side of it.
I'll shrug because I don't know anything about the person. Say, well, it doesn't look anything too interesting. Some other travellers, perhaps.
And basically, with that, you will reach the fair town of Glastonbury later that evening.
What are we looking for? A lake?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Anything that perhaps ties in with our dreams.
Well, there was chains. There was water.
In a lake, yeah, we could do a find in a lake.
A sword.
Okay, well, Glastonbury doesn't really have a lake near to it. It is the there has been a lake there before in the past, but nowadays it is certainly very dry.
Well, we'll take a look anyway. Is there anything else in Glastonbury or around that area?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of interesting things around the Glastonbury area. I'll have a smarts roll from you all. Again, Dakin's going to need a raise. Okay, so Valerie, you'll know a little bit about Glastonbury, which fits because you were the one that knew about the Arthur legends. Um, Basically, what you know about Glastonbury is as follows. Apparently, there are numerous legends and myths concerning Joseph of Arimathea, the Holy Grail, and King Arthur. Um, the supposed site of King Arthur's grave is here, and was apparently found in the late 12th century by monks at the abbey, at the local abbey. Uh, who claimed to have found the graves of both Arthur and Guinevere, which was very popular. However, over the last 100 years or so, I think during the Reformation, during good King Henry.
Wenceslas.
Yeah, during Good King Wenceslas, when he last looked out. Yeah, during the Good King Henry VIII's Reformation, the bodies were supposedly moved and lost.
Oh. Well, we
Um,
could look at the area, I guess.
yeah,
The graves.
there's um, basically the area is said to have been flooded. The Somerset levels flooded, which is when Joseph of Arimathea apparently arrived. He arrived at Glastonbury on a boat in the 1st century AD. But obviously, it's not been fully flooded since. Occasionally, you get some flooding in the area, but not that you'd expect it to be like a lake or anything.
Is there a church or somewhere that has some records and we could find out where it is and see if we could have a dig about or something?
Well, there's the ruins of St Michael's Church, which won't be of much help, but there will be a local church which will have the village records.
Do they have a tavern here? Do they have a tavern called the Woman in Chains?
They have a tavern, but no woman in chains tavern.
And I can't actually read, which is a bit of a hindrance.
Well, pictures. You have big pictures, don't you?
There's plenty of pictures. I'll have a streetwise roll from you if you're looking around.
I don't have the skill.
That's why I rolled. So that's good. You got my roll. Oh.
Yeah, we need a streetwise character, but
Yep, no worries. You will wander around. You'll find a few taverns. No, yeah, Boris actually does worse than you. will find a church which will have records, but nothing with regards to Arthur. Um, I mean, you will find quite a few. Uh, there will be like at the tavern various people chatting, and if you mention about Arthur, people will all have ideas about Arthur. Oh, he was buried here. The body's gone missing now, and during the Henry's reformations.
But it's not Arthur we need to know about, it's the woman. Isn't it?
The Lady of the Lake.
Yeah. Or even the
Um,
sword. Excalibur.
okay, you will um, you will hear general information. I mean, obviously, people have heard of Excalibur. They've heard of the Lady in the Lake. I'm going to say that they will mention that the Lady in the Lake, her name was supposedly Nimue, which I'll write down for you. Or Nimue, and that when Arthur died, Bedivere threw Excalibur into the lake, and Arthur was buried here at Glastonbury. People are unsure if the lake was supposed to be here at Glastonbury or not. What I will have from you is it's effectively a luck roll, so I'm going to say give us a spirit roll. I think that's a good substitute for luck.
Yeah, it's a good idea, that is.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, so that'll do me. The impression that people will have with regards to the Arthur legends is that the sword wasn't thrown in a lake here at Glastonbury, that the sword was thrown in the most well-known location that the lake would be is in Cornwall, which is a place called. Just bear with me because I'm just flicking from book to book.
Okay. This is the opposite direction to which we've been sent, sadly.
Sure, we're only one day away from Bristol, and we can go.
Yeah, it's the lake that's most commonly thought of as being the lake is called Dosemary Pool, which is down in Cornwall way.
Rosemary's Pool?
Dosemary Pool. I'll pop it on in the chat box.
Well, thank you for your advice there. That's
It is that I mean, obviously it's all legend and myth shrouded in time, and you'll start a debate of how it was very strange that the sword was thrown in a pool in Cornwall, and Arthur was buried here at Glastonbury. So people start surmising that maybe Arthur was died at the pool in Cornwall and they brought him here to Glastonbury, or that Bedivere had to ride from Glastonbury to Cornwall, throw the sword in the pool, and then come riding back. And then of course somebody will say, some bright spark will say, but didn't Bedivere say that he'd thrown the sword in the pool? And Arthur said, oh no, you haven't. And Arthur knew that he hadn't because the Lady of the Lake and people hadn't turned up to take him away. So they said, did Bedivere then ride all the way down to Cornwall again and throw the sword in the actual pool this time? And if so, he was clocking up a fair few miles, and you'll basically start quite a good conversation going in the pub, especially as it'll be fueled by alcohol, so people will start coming up with theories as to what happened, and and basically they'll decide that Bedivere had the fastest horse ever, and rode down to Cornwall a couple of times before throwing Excalibur into a lake, and then riding back to Glastonbury to tell Arthur that he'd finally done it. But when he got back, Arthur was dead.
It sounds like a most plausible story.
So the legend of Arthur will become some kind of farcical tale told in the pub, but such it is the way of legends and myths.
Well, never mind. Well, I guess after taking the widow to Bristol, we could head down to Dewsbury Pool, see if that helps us with the source of our dreams.
Yes.
Or
Unless
is there a way we can talk to our dreams and tell them to give us more explicit instructions?
Unless there's anything actually here in Glastonbury. There's a lot of Arthurian things in the dream, isn't there? What about...
There certainly is.
There's a man with a skeleton hand, wasn't there?
Could be something we're missing.
And then there was chains, and then the woman, and then the sword, and then she killed her. She was killed with the sword.
Could we perhaps share it again, Aaron, or...?
Yeah. Go for another spirit roll as you try to get some information from the pub. Cool. Yeah, you'll basically what you'll find is that there'll be people here that think that they're, because obviously being Glastonbury, they think that they're experts on Arthur, and as you won't particularly say we're having this really weird dream, but you'll talk about the dream as if it is some kind of tale,
Myth
and
or
someone will say, "Ooh." You'll get somebody will turn up and say, "That sounds really interesting." That does. Obviously, he'll be an older chap, so he's probably listened to because he's some font of knowledge, or either that, or he's just sort of like an oldies drink a bit longer than the others. And he'll say, "That's got me thinking. Um, if this is the Lady of the Lake and Excalibur, and somebody with a skeleton hand, and could the hand have come from Arthur or something like that? Could it be somebody else's hand? Could it be something like that? That the hand doesn't belong to the man. She say that the hand is skeletal, but the man isn't. So maybe it's somebody else's hand."
Yes, we should try and dig up King Arthur's hand.
Well, they'll say, "Good luck with that. The body of Arthur has been missing for well, we can tell you where it was, but the body of Arthur's been missing for the best part of over 50 years now. Bessie's father, Henry, during the Reformation, when they burnt all the abbeys, they made off with the bones, and it's never been seen again." "Right, tell you what," says one of them, "I wouldn't be surprised if they hadn't nicked him and took him London. You know what those Londoners are like."
I know, they'll have anything.
Oh, the terrible.
Yeah, probably some kind of right that old Henry had got to try to make sure that he got a son. I bet that was probably what the downside of it. Probably if you, I don't know, if you take the bones of a true king, and then use those, ground them up, drink them, and you'll probably have a son that will become a king. That's probably what he was up to.
Probably.
and you'll get quite a few going on and a bit of tutting because obviously
It's a
somebody's had
nasty
too much.
business.
Yeah, somebody's had too much drink, and obviously Queen Bess has been dead for 7 years now, but you still get a lot of people that will be like, "Well, you don't really talk about the Tudors that like that. That's not a good idea." So there'll be a strange kind of feeling that'll go over the pub as people start rabbiting on about everything about Henry VIII.
So I think the hand is significant though, but I don't know where we're going to find a hand. Perhaps it's a metaphor. Alfred scratches his head. He's not the brightest spark.
So he scratches his head, wondering what a metaphor is.
Yeah. Maybe.
Obviously, the widow Ivans will get involved in the discussion as well, which is good because it's keeping her mind off things. Um, I mean, she's quite clever, quite bright, but I mean, she doesn't really know much more. She'll be of the because she's from Devon. She'll definitely be of the more of the opinion that well, surely all the Arthur stuff's in Cornwall and
Yeah.
not here up at Glastonbury.
Well, very well then. Aye. At least we found some information, rumours here. We should perhaps turn in for the night and take you to Bristol in the morning and head back to Cornwall to investigate further.
Okay, and so
Let's see what the night brings.
unless anyone's doing anything, you will turn in for the night. I'll give you some costs. Okay. Again, 1 shilling for common room, and however, it's going to be 5 shillings for your own bedroom this time because you've not got Isaac getting you the merchant discount.
I can't afford a room.
I'll give the common room. I'll lend you the money, Dakin. Don't worry, my friend.
You give him the money? Oh, that's very kind of you. How much you pay? You take the fee off then.
Okay, I'll pay a shilling for Dakin.
Okay. And you'll settle down for the night, and again you'll have exactly the same dream. I'll have a vigor roll from you, please.
Just.
Okay, Valerie is okay. Alfred's okay. Dakin's okay. So Valerie, you can get rid of that fatigue.
Oh, did she? Is that the last roll for Valerie? Actually, did she not?
Oh, sorry, no, that was a spirit. Sorry, Valerie. You need to do
sorry.
a vigor roll for me. Yep, that's good enough. So you'll all have a decent night's sleep, other than the dream, which is a little disturbing. But you all will wake up fairly refreshed, and so vigor will be fine, ready for the final day to which will get you to Bristol from here at Glastonbury.
And get me some money, and then we can get a horse and ride very, very fast to Cornwall.
Okay, so you'll head on over to Bristol. If Alfred, if you wish to do a last bit of hunting.
Sure do. I'm surprised we weren't attacked en route by the squires, man.
Must be playing a long
No,
game.
you weren't. Yep, you'll get some more game there. Uh, you're getting very good at finding stuff like rabbit and pheasant. Nothing too ornate. Uh,
So,
no venison or anything like that. But you're bringing in the bacon, as it were. Well, except it's not pig. Uh, so you're bringing in the non-bacon bacon, I should say. And I'll just see if you get an encounter. No, the day will pass uneventfully, and at nightfall you will be reaching the outskirts of Bristol. Bristol is pretty big, certainly bigger than any of the settlements you've been to recently. It dwarfs them all. You can see the docks, which are fairly impressive, and the widow Ivans uh, will direct you to her sister's house, and she'll say, "Please, you must stay as guests for the evening, well, for the night."
thank you for your hospitality, especially in such a strange city. I think Bristol was a really large city for the time, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Really,
Bristol's
really
quite a big
important.
city. It's a fairly big port. It's one of the big. I think it's one of the biggest cities in England, to be honest.
I
At this
think it
point,
is as well at this time, yeah.
it's where all the pirates come from.
Arr, arr, my lover.
I thought they all came from Devon.
Bristol.
Devon's where all the smugglers are.
Wasn't it Edward Teach was supposed to come from Bristol, wasn't he? I think.
Yeah,
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard. Yeah, absolutely. It just you always get this impression of Blackbeard with, like, obviously with his beard and his beard on fire and all that kind of stuff, and you never get the thought of him talking with a Bristol accent.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly, my lover.
Oh, board that ship, my lover. Get hold of the loot, my lover. Go on. Oh, and you'll go to the widow Ivan's sister's house, and you'll be shown in. There'll be some stabling. So obviously, her husband is well, he's a sailor, and he's obviously fairly well off. So he's probably an officer on a boat. He's not at home at the moment because he's away at sea. However, there is some room in stabling, and they have a couple of spare rooms which they will be able to put you up for the night.
I'm just glad I'm got somewhere to stay in this foul place.
Yes,
Perfect.
and the widow Ivans will indeed give the party £10.
Yay. £7
So that's
each.
£3.33 each.
Okay,
If you want to call it £3.35, and then that'll round it off. So
What?
you've got £3 and 7 shillings each.
so that's 67 shillings, is it?
How many shillings did you say?
67.
Yeah, 67 shillings or £3 and 7 shillings, whichever way you prefer to break it down.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
convert all mine to shillings, it'll be easier.
I wrote down £3 and then 67 shillings because someone told me 67 shillings as well as £3. So what was the original thing? £3, 3 shillings was it?
£3 and no, £3 and 7 shillings, which is three,
Okay,
which is it's either £3 and 7 shillings or 67 shillings. Because 20 shillings to a pound.
confused my brain.
Damn that old English money. I don't tend to bother so much with the pence because that makes it even more complex.
Yeah.
Cool. And you'll have a peaceful evening, and you'll have what will be a luxury of home cooked food. Although you've had a couple of decent meals because you've managed to stop off at towns, it's the food that with the widow Ivans' sister will make will be really really nice, and she'll, assuming you let her, she will utilize the pheasant and rabbit that you also
Absolutely.
found, and she'll make a really nice stew.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
And she'll say that you're most welcome. That she's uh, happy to oblige for you making sure that her sister got here safely to Bristol.
Boris puts on his best I'm cute and really hungry face.
Oh, there'll be plenty of food for Boris. He'll actually have proper stew as well. So,
Excellent.
and you'll settle down for the evening, and obviously you'll be chatting, and whether you do or not, with the widow Ivans will certainly mention that you're planning on heading to Cornwall next. Um, you know, which is, considering you just come up from Devon, it's like heading back, and her sister will suggest, well, why don't you see if there's any ships passing that way, to, rather than riding all the way back down, you might be able to get passage.
Ah, that's not a bad idea. It's been a while since I've travelled by ship, and it would be safer, I hope. Bandits and the like out there.
Yeah, just pirates.
Wreckers.
Yeah.
So, aside from the pirates and wreckers, it'll be
and the Kraken.
and the Kraken. Okay, so aside from the Kraken, the pirates, and the wreckers, it'll be a lot safer.
Absolutely.
And the possibility of mutiny. Anyway, what do you two think, Valerie and Dakin?
Yeah, let's go on a boat.
Let's do
I've
that.
been on a boat before.
Would you like to go on a boat again? You're now a rich man.
I will go on a boat again.
Let's do it then.
Are we taking the boat?
Okay, so, well, she will give you the name of somebody to go and meet at the port. Well, to meet at the docks. Obviously, it's somebody that is involved with her that her husband works for, and she'll say that it's worthwhile checking with him, see if he's got any ships heading off. I know that many ships, when they're heading from Bristol, they are usually heading across to the Americas or across to Ireland, but certainly they will often stop off on the way, or at least be able to give you some kind of lift on the way.
Is there any docks in Devon?
Well, there'll certainly be docks at like
I meant
Barnstaple,
Cornwall.
which
I meant
is
Cornwall.
there'd certainly be a dock at Barnstaple, which is on like the border between Devon and Cornwall.
Okay.
Or alternatively, you might get lucky and you might get a ship that's going to dock at Newquay or St Ives, and they're both in Cornwall. So, but she says it'll cut several days off your journey. Either way, even if you end up at Barnstaple, you'd still cut off quite a bit of the journey. You cut off effectively travelling the length of Devon to get there. So,
Sounds good.
Yes. Best dreams.
okay, and that night you'll go to sleep, and guess what?
Wake up with no dreams.
No, you have the dream again. I'll have another vigor roll, please. Alfred and Dakin are okay. Valerie? Yeah, you'll be okay.
I'm okay.
It'll be the comfortable bed, and for Dakin in particular, it'll be the fact that he has to pay for it tonight. So, and and you'll have a good night. She'll Widow Ivans' sister. I'm going to call her Martha, just so I sort of call her name rather than calling her Widow Ivans' sister. Martha will cook up a good breakfast, good hearty breakfast, which you'll eagerly devour, and yeah, and so you'll be ready for the day, for whatever lies ahead. So you'll head off to the docks. Assuming you're going to go meet the
Yeah.
guy that
Yes.
she's told you. Yep. Okay. As you arrive on the docks, you'll see a small crowd of people at the edge of the wharf. From here, you can see two guardsmen dragging a body from the water, which they dump onto the wharf in full view of everybody.
Oh, can I get a look at the body?
Yep. Um, from a small distance, I'll have a healing roll.
Hearing?
Healing.
Oh, healing. Right, sorry.
Okay, so success from
I got a
both
4.
Alfred and Valerie. Yep. Okay, from a distance, you can make out that the body has multiple deep lacerations, um, and you'll notice that the wounds are deep, as if made by a wide, flat weapon, perhaps an axe.
I'll cover my axe with my cloak.
And one of the guards, who gives the body a cursory examination, begins muttering, "Devil take my soul," he says. "This is the 5th one this week."
The 5th died in the same manner.
Oh, it's harsh times. Yes. Um, he then points towards the main square, where you can see a gibbet occupied by the decomposing corpse of an old woman. "I blame that witch," he says quietly, as if fearful the corpse will hear him. "This all started the night she died, almost one death a night for the past week."
She was killed for being a witch.
Did you call
She
in a priest?
she was duly tried and sentenced by the local magistrate.
Hmm.
I'll have a streetwise roll, please, to see if you learn any more.
Okay, this is not our strong. Oh, well done, folks.
Cool. People have taken a bit of a shine to Dakin and Valerie, and they'll give you a little bit more information. They said that she was duly tried and executed. Duly tried and sentenced by the local magistrate. However, she killed herself, biting open her own wrists and letting her blood spill to the floor. And as her life force ebbed away, she cursed Bristol, the whole town, vowing that by my blood will I have revenge.
Did she have a child?
No, she
Oh.
she had no child. All the deaths they've been at night.
She
Oh,
have
Every
a
night.
husband?
Suspicious.
No husband. She was a witch.
She have a sister?
Nope.
She have a brother?
No, she was a witch.
She had a dog.
Nope, nor a cat. She had a broomstick.
As a witch's curse should not be taken lightly. But where did she live, this witch?
Uh, she lived in a small hovel on the edge of town. It's been when the murders started, the villagers burnt it down. Well, not the villagers, but some of the townsfolk went and they to make sure that there was nothing there. They went and burnt it down to try
Good
to make
job.
everything safe. But
And who
the curse is still in operation.
and who arrested the evil crone?
Um, oh, it was just some of the guardsmen, but the local Magistrate Smith, he, um, he duly sentenced her. She had a fair hearing. Not none of this, none of this Inquisition stuff.
I see.
Like all them Catholics do. None of that kind of stuff. She had a fair hearing.
So you're
Always a
saying
fair man.
every night someone in Bristol dies, we get on the boat fast then?
Pretty much every night there's been a death found like this every day. Well, 5 days out of the last 7, we've found a body. All died in the same way.
Well, remembering the dreams I had about looking out for sources of evil and vanquishing evil, I'm interested by this. I think. And the body on the dock, where were the wounds on the body? They went on the wrists, were they, or something?
On the body that they pulled out the
Yeah.
water. No, they deep wounds in the chest and the sides, but not the wrists.
Could I take a look at the gibbet with the old crone in and have a see if we can see
Yeah.
anything about her body?
Yep, she's still there, hanging around.
Does she look like she?
Nothing better to do.
Does she look like she did die by biting her own wrists?
I'll have a healing roll.
No
I
idea.
won't roll. I won't
She's
roll
dead.
this.
Nope, no idea either.
No. She may be, but I mean the body's been there for a week now, so it's hard to tell. However, I will have a notice roll from you all, please. So that's Alfred, Boris, and Boris. Okay, that makes sense. Alfred and Boris are the ones that spot it. Okay, any blood that will have been around from the witch will definitely have dropped into the grate that's below.
I'll take a closer look at this grate and see if we can see where it leads. Is it a wide entrance or a small drain?
Just bear with me. Okay, no, it definitely it looks like a small drain.
Okay, I'll try and can I like prise the drain open and sort of have a look down it a bit closer?
Yeah, sure. Just a strength roll. Yeah, no problem. You'll pry it open, have a look inside. It's a bit smelly, as you'd expect from a drain. Doesn't look anything extraordinary. You wouldn't get anything big in there. I mean, even Boris wouldn't fit in there.
Right, yeah, it's just I was just wondering if there's perhaps anything's fallen down it or anything like that, you know.
No, there's nothing you can see in there of extraordinary. Just the usual detritus. There'll probably be some. Well, probably won't be many leaves in there at the moment, but probably just be.
Crap.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, I'll think that was a bad idea. Wonder why I did it. Put the grid back and look to the others for inspiration. What about Smith, the magistrate?
Oh, you'll need to make an appointment with him.
Do you accuse her of being a witch?
The magistrate, I think. Oh,
The magistrate tried and sentenced her. He didn't actually accuse her. You don't know who actually accused her. No, nobody seems to know who accused her.
As a general hue and cry went up or something, did it? You know, she's a witch, and everyone joined in, and no one knows who said it first.
Pretty much.
Well, Smith should have the answers.
That's Magistrate Smith.
Yeah. You'll have to make an appointment to get to see him. He doesn't see people normally. Says a passing person.
What? What's everyone? Has anyone got any other ideas?
Yes, we could interview him about it.
Oh, pardon. I'm sorry.
Yes, we should interview him about it.
Cool.
Well,
okay.
What about the person that he died? Did they have anything in common? Were they all friends and they all had houses and
And a business.
Yeah.
They all work for.
No, there's nothing in common from the people other than they're all from. Well, in fact, they won't even all be from Bristol. 3 of them will have been from Bristol. 2 of them will be people that are working on the boats. They'll have not necessarily all been found in the same place either. They'll have been found in different places, but the MO of the killer will be the same.
Well, I guess we'll need to think of a canny way of seeing this magistrate. I'm not much for them myself, and I look a little bit sheepish, thinking of the that I'm actually wanted a bit, but don't mention that. Only for poaching. They won't notice, will they?
It's only a minor wanted, so you're probably not particularly wanted in the city of Bristol.
Jolly good. Alright, so, well,
I mean, there's always the possibility that somebody that knows who you are is hunting you down and happens to be in Bristol at the time, but people from Bristol itself are probably not really going to be keeping an eye open for a poacher.
yeah, probably not that bothered about me. Okay, fine, I'm small fry. Let's head to the courthouse.
Okay, you'll get to the courthouse and there'll be a clerk there who will look up at you and say, business.
Greetings there, sir. I am Alfred Smith. This is my colleague Dakin and Valerie, and Boris is waiting outside, and we'd like to make an urgent appointment to see Magistrate Smith. If we could.
What is it in connection with?
I'm his brother.
I'll have a persuasion roll off you there.
I don't know where that came from. I'm just sorry. Probably
Ooh,
against his smarts,
not
but
bad. Yeah. He also, but Magistrate Smith doesn't have a brother. Would you like to decide what it is that you wish to see Magistrate Smith about?
yes, I'm sorry. I meant I'm the brother of a woman who was tried by him recently, and I need to see him with some important questions about the sentencing.
I'll have another persuasion, but at -2 now.
Is that the time?
He'll actually go, oh, Magistrate Smith is very busy, but I could probably arrange for a meeting with him.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yes, but he is quite busy, so I will need to probably push you up ahead of the order of people that are waiting to see him.
Oh yes, of course. Thank you.
Yes, probably up by the token of. I'd probably be up. I'd say a pound's worth of people that I'd need to push you in front of.
A pound? Oh, that's quite a weight there, sir. Perhaps a 15 shillings worth of pushing.
Go for another persuasion.
I perhaps should have just quit while I'm ahead. Oh no, I'm being fairly persuasive suddenly.
I think that we can come to an arrangement there, and he will write something in a book which you can't read, and he will look at you and he'll say, "Oh, it appears that Magistrate Smith is free later this afternoon. If you'd like to come back at about 3 o'clock."
Thank you, kind sir. I'm glad you could appreciate the urgency of the matter, and
You're quite welcome.
I must thank you for your diligence.
Don't forget to knock it off.
I've done, knocked off.
I'll get this £10 back off you all as soon as I can.
You just need me to do the talking, and then it's going to have to be like I'm going to have to just keep buying my way out all the time. It cost me a fortune. Alright, so we'll wait till 3 then, I guess.
Yeah, you've got a few hours to kill.
Let's explore.
Ooh, explore what?
The places where all the people died.
Yes.
Do we know where? I think I know where one of them died.
We'll ask by paper.
Oh. Can we read? I can't read.
I can't read either. Valerie, can you
can read.
Okay.
You don't really have much in the line of like newspapers.
Is it a bit early? Is it for them? Okay.
Yeah, I think you're looking probably about another century before newspapers
So it's town
start to
crier then, is it?
become a bit. Yeah, town crier. I mean, you might get like bulletins up on like a notice board and things like that. You definitely get that at this stage, especially in a big city.
Second-hand piano for sale.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go and have a look at notice board.
Yep. Second-hand piano for sale, missing all the ivory bits.
It's a wooden box.
Not yet invented. It requires some assembly.
Yes, invention.
And yeah, you will um, go and have a look at what you can see on the news and that, as it were. There will be information about the murders because obviously it is big news. And did you say that Valerie can read?
Yeah, I think she's
I
the only
read.
one.
Yes, I'm very educated.
Excellent. So Valerie will it'll be read with Valerie class as Alfred, Dakin, and Boris will sit around listening to Valerie reading them stories. And yeah, Valerie, you will find that two of the bodies were found near the wharf. This does not include the one that was found today because it's a bit early. And the other two bodies were actually found in the streets of the poor area of town.
Then we shall go and visit those locations.
See if there's any water.
Well, there's definitely water at the wharf.
I meant the two in the poor district.
Okay. You'll go to the poor area and have a walk around. I will have a. Ooh, it's going to have to be some kind of orientation role, I think, because you don't know Bristol that well. So,
Smart.
I can navigate
Yeah.
myself.
Oh, navigations, isn't there?
Well, I've got knowledge of navigation.
oh yeah, in fact, smarts for you guys, you need
Oh.
raises, but knowledge navigate for Dakin, he won't need a raise. Just needs a success, which he got. Which is cool. Alfred's completely lost because he's in the town.
I nearly know where I am.
Yeah, you'll roughly find your way to within a couple of streets, but Dakin will find the exact locations, and I'll have noted these. Okay, Dakin's just really pleased that he's found the place. However, Valerie and Alfred, yep, you'll both notice that Alfred sniffs lampposts.
No, that was the wrong one. But who cares? It's supposed to be Boris.
Yeah, but he's delegating some of the work to you nowadays.
So I do that on his behalf. Okay.
Okay, and yeah, one thing that you'll notice that the places do have in common is there are both areas that do have a grate nearby for the sewer, and there'll be bigger grates here.
Ah. Would they be the? Yeah, you could get an axe down these grates, could you?
Yeah, you can get an axe down them.
Get a person down these larger ones.
Bit of a squeeze, but possible.
Somebody small like me, maybe?
Yeah, they are obviously designed for people to be able to go in and out of because of cleaning them out, but they're not designed to fully facilitate the climbing in and out of.
Squeeze down. Well, does it look like there's a like sewer crawls? I suppose it's not sewers, are they? As such.
Yeah, a fairly basic sewer.
Cool. All right. I'll go down there.
It's a bit dark.
Anyone have a torch? I'll rummage around. I've got a lantern.
Oh, that'll do.
Yes,
Okay.
take your lantern down.
Okay. I'll dangle the lantern down a bit first, just to check, what's down there. and
Okay.
then-
Yeah, yeah, you reckon that it's you could crawl along there. It's probably not big enough to be able to walk. It's not got deep running water, but you reckon that you could, on hands and knees, you could get through fairly comfortably. And Boris would be okay. He could get down there.
Um, um, I'm a bit scared of sending Boris down. I'll go down with him, I guess. If I go down and bring Boris down as well behind me.
Okay, you will go down and start crawling through the sewer. Interesting smell you have discovered here. And in fact, I will have a vigor roll from you there, Alfred. Yeah, you will start throwing up, and you will really want to come out. No, okay, then you're fine. You'll start retching, and then you'll hold yourself and go, no, it'll be fine, and yeah, and you'll start crawling forward.
All right.
Who's at the front? Is it you or Boris at the front?
I'll go first and have Boris behind as backup.
Okay. Anybody else joining Alfred and Boris in the sewer?
Nope.
Nope.
Thanks, guys.
Just thinking about putting the grating back on.
Cheers.
Yeah, there's the whole sort of like analogy of if it's like a poison gas, would you remove the stopper? And in this instance, Alfred and Boris are the stopper, aren't they?
But I should have had the curious hindrance, really, but never mind.
Okay, you'll crawl for some way, not that far, but far enough where you definitely need the lantern because you'll have come away from where the light is shining from outside, and you'll come to a part where basically it looks like it's kind of collapsed in a bit on itself, and there's still the sewer is still able to mostly get through, but a lot of rubble has collapsed. I'll have a. Actually, I'll have. I'm thinking possibly a tracking roll from you there, actually, Alfred.
Awesome.
See, Zenith element is
Oh, God.
Okay. Yeah, basically, you will.
No! I was hoping Boris would save me. Oh, God.
Yeah, you'll see where it's basically it's all collapsed in. You can still see that that some of the water's still able to get through. But it's in the main, it's all collapsed in. As luck at have it, it doesn't look like the surface has collapsed in. So it's not like there's a big hole that's appeared in the roadside.
Uh-huh.
You think that? I mean, just looking at this, you think that it's fairly old. So maybe it's quite old sewer work or something, which obviously predates modern day. So you don't tend to have sewers these days. You tend to just crap in the street.
Right, I'm gonna. Oh, yes, it could be a.
Roman.
Roman. Ah,
Yep.
cool. I'll go a little bit further.
Well, you can only get to where it collapsed.
Oh, I can't get any further. All right. Okay, I'll come back. Quite thankful. I can't get any further.
Okay. The sewer monsters will clamber out of the sewer. They absolutely stink. Even they stink
Make them
even more
walk
than
20
people
feet
do.
behind us.
Yeah, they stink even worse than people do in the slightly post-Elizabethan period.
There's nothing down there though. It could be that it's collapsed a bit. So if something did crawl down there to crawl out of the thing and attack people, it's very small. And I'm going to make my way to the docks and jump in the water. Go for a paddle.
Okay, you head over towards the docks. Are you going to a quiet spot, or are you just jumping in front of everybody?
This is a really bad timing, really, because I'm doing this just before I'm supposed to go and visit the magistrate. I've been crawling around in the sewer. Desperate. Well, I'll go.
You'll have to pay for a bath somewhere then.
Yeah, I think so. I'll go and buy some new clothes. Okay, quickly. I'll clean myself up a bit in the sea first, just so they actually let me into somewhere for a bath. Then find a bath, and then have a bath and buy some new clothes.
Okay. Well, your clothes will cost you. Are you buying normal or formal clothing?
I'm going to buy formal clothing, and I'm going to play this for my visit to the magistrate.
Well, before you, I was going to say, I know what you're playing. Okay. Formal clothing is £10.
In between formal and informal clothing, slightly smart clothing.
Well, a good set of normal clothing is £1,
That'll do.
which obviously is a lot of money. So it's actually worth 2 of Boris. That is.
Oh no.
Boris is only worth 10 shillings.
Oh no.
Such a lie.
Yeah, Boris is invaluable. He's priceless, Boris.
So it'll cost you £1 for a set of normal clothing. That'll be decent normal clothing. It'll look good.
Okay.
Obviously, it's not the kind of clothing you'd use to go to a ball or anything.
All right.
And
And while I'm there, I could do some replacement hunting clothing type scruffy clothing.
I'll just call that 10 shillings. It's half the price.
Well, that was an expensive trip down the sewer. Anyway, I'm going to get all dolled up then.
Okay,
And,
so you get yourself all dressed up for your meeting.
I'm on, dressed to kill.
There you go, and you scoffed and you were trying to get rid of that card.
I know, I didn't realise it was going to actually become dramatically appropriate.
And yeah, you will head to your meeting with the Magistrate Smith.
Okay, I'm just realising that I'm doing quite a lot here. Does anybody else want to do anything? I don't want to hog the spotlight.
No, you go for it.
Yeah, if everything goes wrong, we can always just blame you.
Yeah, you just following.
Or you see, one of us can go with another cock and bull story as to why we want to speak to him.
Okay. It's just like a couple of people following around sniggering at my
Yeah,
my stupid.
that's pretty much what it is.
What's he doing now? He's going down a sewer. Alright. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Now what's he doing? Oh, he's jumped in the sea.
Funny.
we can see why he doesn't like going to the city. He becomes a lunatic.
Yeah, it's not going well for me at the moment in the city. Never
Okay,
mind.
so you will go to your scheduled meeting with Magistrate Smith. Magistrate Smith's quite a portly chap, obviously well used to good living, probably in his late 40s or maybe early 50s, as almost as wide as he is tall, and he'll be sat behind his office eating a meal, and he'll go, "Oh, I I'd forgotten that I had an appointment at this time. You'll have to excuse me. Don't mind me while I finish eating. Tell me your business, young lad. What is it you want?
Well, you see, we were just interested in the witch case, that foul creature that you quite rightfully managed to convict recently.
Oh yes. What about her?
Well, what made you? I'm curious about the case. You see, what made you think she was a witch?
She'd been accused of witchcraft. She'd been um, uh, uh, getting up to all kinds of strange rites and that just outside of the city, and when questioned, she couldn't provide a good enough defence. She had a fair trial.
Of course, of course, and was found guilty, of course. Yes.
Yes, yes, very strange. We put her in a gibbet, obviously as an example to people that witches and witchcraft and all that kind of jiggery pokery won't be tolerated in the city of Bristol. And the strange thing, she bit her bit her wrists and cursed the place. So therefore proving that she must have been a witch.
Otherwise, how would... Oh, I'm not there.
Oh no, you can be from. Definitely not there.
No, I won't be there.
Well, and these so who was it who accused her at first? It was.
Or I can't give those kind of details away.
Many people, I imagine. Yes.
Yes, there was a good many. There was a petition about it. Lots of people had put their mark on a sheet of paper. Just lots of people writing X.
Yeah, right. X's. And these murders recently, I'm a bit concerned about. Been one every night, has there not? Is there any progress with them? Do you know?
There's been 5 deaths. They all have happened each night. You look like a chap that could probably handle himself. I guess I'm correct.
I like to think so. Yes.
Right, I have an idea. We have been trying to get to the bottom of these murders. I could do with somebody going out and patrolling the streets at night. Obviously, most people are afraid to be out at night with everything. But you like a brave sort of chap. If you
Honest
could
too.
go out, find this killer, bring him or her to justice, and I'll pay you the princely sum of £2.
That's
What do you say, my lad? That sounds like a good deal. We could do with people like you working for us.
and I've always wanted to try my hand at being a lawman, though I would need an assistant, perhaps. Would there be perhaps a dispensation to hire a associate?
Yes, you can hire. Oh, you could hire a couple of assistants. We'll if you bring the felon in, we'll pay you £2, and we'll pay your assistants 10 shillings each.
Splendid deal.
Excellent. So consider yourself deputised. You look like a smart man, and that we want working for us. So get yourself out there this evening. Patrol the streets. Find the miscreant. Bring him to justice.
I will do, Mr. Smith. I must say you're, sorry, Magistrate Smith, you're a most inspiring man. I'll shake his hand vigorously and leave feeling very proud of myself.
I'm just waiting till you bump into the others and tell them what you're going to tell them.
I'll rush down the courthouse steps, excited. Dakin, Valerie, we've been hired. We've got a job to patrol the streets and find out who it is that's murdering these people. And I've even got some pay for you.
Excellent.
For us. We're all getting 5 shillings a head to do it.
Excellent.
No, I'm going to be honest. I'm an honest guy. He said they'll pay you 10 shillings each for the job.
Excellent, because we were probably going to do that anyway, so getting paid for it's additionally good.
Okay, well, me and Deputy Boris will...
Yeah, Boris isn't
Deputy
getting
dog.
paid.
He's getting paid in biscuits.
Oh yeah, and biscuits.
I guess we'll wait till evening and patrol the streets, paying special attention to grids.
Yes.
Okay, so you will be out in the evening. I take it all three of you are going out?
Yes.
Are you coming back in?
Yeah, he's going to come. Yes, I'll come.
Yes, I'm coming.
See, two can play at that game.
Brilliant.
We've been harbouring that for ages.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so it basically, obviously, it'll go dark about 5 o'clock. Most people will hurry. You'll still have a few people out and about, but most people will have hurried off to their homes by 7, because obviously we're in the thick of winter still. So I shall just draw a card in one moment. Oops, I need to clear these. There we go, that's better. Okay, so okay, so 7 o'clock, and all is
Green.
well. 8 o'clock, all is well. 9 o'clock, all is well. 10 o'clock,
Almost not well.
I'll have a notice roll from you all, please. It is quite dark, so I will to keep that in mind. But straight notice roll. Wow. Okay. So, all right, yeah. Boris is too busy eating biscuits. Valerie will definitely hear it. Well, you'll all hear it. You'll all hear a scream pierce the night from not too far away. Valerie, you'll be certain that it's from about 2 streets away.
I'll set off running in that direction.
Okay. Heading in the direction of the scream. The rest of you following?
Absolutely. If I see Valerie take off, I'll head after her.
We'll follow her.
Okay, heading in the direction of the scream, you find the door of a house open, with what appears to be a bloody trail leading away from the house.
I'll try and track the trail to where it is.
that this'll all be at -2 because obviously it's poor lighting even with your lantern.
All right, track and roll, was it?
Yeah.
Oops.
We'll help you with your trekking.
Wow. Yep, Dakin does help you with your track. You're there trying to follow the track, and Dakin's why don't pointing out? Why don't you look at that? Boris has gone wandering off. He's gone wandering to the house and is sniffing at the door instead.
Boris, here, Boris. Okay, thanks, Dakin. We'll follow Dakin. He seems to know where he's going.
You need to go back to your trainer.
Okay, you will discover a faint blood trail leading through the street, and it heads straight to a sewer grate, which, although in place, has been forced upward at some point and no longer sits securely in the road.
I knew it was the sewers.
Does this mean we all have to go down there now?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
And you in your nice new clothes?
No, I'm in my officer's uniform now. Well, I might as well ruin another set of clothes.
Okay. You can easily pull the grate up because, as I say, it's not sitting securely anyway now, so it's quite easy to move. However, as you open it up, you get a reek of decay with a hint of something altogether more sinister.
Garlic.
I'll have a vigor roll from you as you start to clamber in.
No, Boris. He's got a very sensitive nose.
Valerie, are you going in the sewer?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, you'll all be okay. Boris is a dog, so although he doesn't particularly like the smell, it's not going to deter him.
Cool.
No, Boris is a dog, therefore he loves the smell. He's
Yeah.
rolling in it. He's trying to get as much of it on him as possible.
Absolutely. He's rolling in it, rubbing up against you, making sure that you're as covered as possible. But this sewer is bigger and wider than the others. You reckon that you can walk down it? If you're tall, you might need to stoop a little bit, but other than that, you'd be fine.
Cool.
Great. I don't even have to stoop, probably.
Nope, you'll be fine. And we'll leave it there as you enter the sewers for the night.
Dun,
Dun,
I
dun,
think that's a good
dun.
place to pull the curtain down on the evening.
Can I
very
have a
good.
look? Can I have a look around the area to see if anything's around there?
Yeah, it's fairly quiet. You mean before you? Oh, okay.
Might as well use the card since I'm in the sewers.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Hang on. You will, as everybody clambers into the sewer, Dakin will find.
I suppose all sorts of stuff might get dropped down there.
Yeah, I'm going to say. Okay, it's not going to be like a massively great thing, but it is a windfall. So I'm going to say, Dakin, obviously somebody travelling over this sewer must have dropped a precious gem in there, and you'll just see it glinting, and you'll pick it up, and it'll be a small ruby.
Nice.
Ruby worth 2 million gold. Pound. Whatever.
Good find.
Yeah, it's not quite worth that amount. It's not a huge amount, but it's a nice freebie. I'll just, uh, I'll say, well, you'd need to be able to praise it to know what it's worth. Which would be, I don't think there is an appraise skill, is there?
No, not really. Probably just smarts, I guess, or it would be a knowledge specialty thing.
Knowledge specialty or smarts, yeah. So to make me a smarts roll, Dakin.
Oh, I'm so smart. Will you see this?
You could take it to a shop after.
Yeah, I'll take it to the shop.
You could ask somebody who can read.
Can you read that, Ruby?
Yeah, but she's very intelligent.
What's this worth?
Oh, okay.
7.
7, yeah. Just bear with me. I'm going to have a look. I hadn't particularly expected that, so I will just have a look to see if there's something.
Wait, you know how it is. You have to make the GM work at the end of the game.
It's adventure
You
cards
want to
for you
feel
as
you've
well.
got your money's worth, don't you?
Yeah, I wonder what nice worth.
Got to give him at least a bit of a headache.
That's it. Yeah. That's why it was just one gem and not
Oh.
like a whole treasure chest.
So what was your card then, Al? Because me and him had terrible cards.
Double
I was waiting for.
a damage, double a shot
Oh,
damage.
okay.
Which could have come in useful, but yeah.
Yeah. I was waiting
Yeah.
for some. I was hoping we'd get like some party of criminals and they try to ambush us, and then we kill them, and then I go card get loot, yay! But no, it was wolves.
Yeah, you got wolves. Those you were expecting bandits.
Well, the sewer's a good play though.
I'm gonna say, let me see. Just give me 2 seconds.
No worries.
Fine. Maybe 10 already. So.
Do we?
We what?
Did-
Sorry?
Did we have some equipment somewhere in the library? A list of the prices for guns and things in this.
Oh, was
No,
it an
because
image?
everything was hidden.
Yeah,
If
there's
you
an
could do-
image. Hang on. Price of guns, armor, and weapons.
Yes. I want a pistol.
Do they have pistols?
Yeah, shot and powder.
Oh, okay.
It's more this one because this is the exotic and ranged weapons is the one that you want.
You could always get that cannon, just wheel it around your wagon.
Alternatively, I think Flintlock's just listed in the normal Savage Worlds.
There it is. Wheel lock pistol.
Yeah, real lock
2-barrel
pistol.
pistol.
Blunderbuss, get a blunderbuss.
I think
Two-barrel
it's the
pistol.
two-barrel pistol that I wanted.
Yeah.
2-barrel
Barrel.
pistol.
Rate of
Cool.
fire.
That's £7, that is. £7.
Yeah, I knew it was expensive. And I could go for a wheel lock and have one now, or have to wait.
Do you see how long it takes to reload these things? Wow, 2
Yeah.
rounds?
But the fun though.
Yeah, that's why Solomon Kane carries 2 or 3, or carries a couple of money. So he can shoot one, and then shoot the other, and then he'll just stab people with his sword after that.
Yeah, you want a brace of them, don't you? In quick draw.
Okay, so a small ruby in modern day is worth about 300. Oh no, sorry, a low one would be worth about $100. So I'm going to say that it would probably be worth about £20. However, you probably wouldn't get £20 for it. think that's probably about right.
Might be able to get 10 or something.
No,
Yeah.
no, I will save this money until we've all got the skills that can get me a £20.
Okay, but just make a note on your character sheet, Ruby, and then in brackets just put £20.
Yeah, it says I've got it in my inventory, and it says Ruby worth
Cool.
20.
Because otherwise I will definitely forget it, and I'll be like, "What Ruby?" But especially with it just being an adventure card and not actually a plot point that I got. Cool. So, yeah, you'll clamber into the sewers, and Dakin will find a small ruby, and you'll head off along the sewers, and they stink. They stink worse than the sewer that Alfred was in earlier in the day. So it smells a bit more charnel, and at
dear.
that point we will I say we will bring the curtain down for the session.
Exp. Is Boris done enough to get a roll?
No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, he
What did
attacked a
he-
wolf. He attacked a wolf and he stole some sausages off you and
Chancer! Okay, 2 XP. Oh my god, that means next section. Next session. Next session. Shit. Can't forget it. I give up the word.
Yeah, you want session off in advance. That's cool. So we will see what is going on next session in 2 weeks' time.
okay, cool. That was ace fun. That was Aaron. I really enjoyed that. That's meant.
Yeah, I mean it was cool. It's a bit of a travelling session, but I wanted to have a quick play with some encounter things that I've created for travelling. I've got some more ideas on how to beef them up. I do them as like little mini scenarios basically. So
Yeah, that's cool.
and the different suit has a different effect. But I'm not going to tell you what that is. Although if you read the